Phil Cohen here, Cohen on Content and all things digital out of home. I got Stu Armstrong from ComKey. Now, this interview was supposed to happen at DSE, but one, we had electrical. Two, we had, they don't call it tape anymore. Now it's a card. So we just ran out of time and materials. So I dragged Stu down here today because I want to ask you the same question that I asked Brian, the same question that I asked Goldberg, which is, who needs you? See, you know, if somebody's building a network, 1,000, 2,000 screens, whatever it is, why should they buy software from you guys? Why shouldn't they just get a couple of guys with computers to write their own software?
I mean, really, it really comes down to the business model of the operator of the network. What do they want to be? Do they want to be a sales and marketing company? Where do they see the monetization of their network? And most of the network owners, they're in the media business. They're not in the technology business. So they want a partner that can support them on the IT side, manage all of those services, make sure that they're getting software and services that are cutting edge, and they're willing to pay for that, as opposed to the contrary, which is to build their own IT structure, to hire all those people, to get their server farms, have all the headaches, and at the end of the day, if they exit their business, which most of them have a vision of doing, they're either going to have a trade deal or they're going to sell they're going to go public in some way, or whatever the case might be. What is the valuation that's going to be applied to the IT side and the software side of the business, as opposed to the media side of the business? And that the valuation on the media side of the business is really significant.
But there's also the fact that if I deploy 6,000 screens with your software or Kenny's software or anybody's, I'm at your mercy. You own me. Because for me to change is a very expensive proposition.
Well, you know, when we talk when you're doing a software as a service, there's
software as a service. Whoever coined that, software as a service? No, I want to buy software as a disc service. What? Okay, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, it's cheaper if you want to get software as a disc service. So
I think I got some of those.
Not from us.
No. But you remember who we had back before?
That was software as a disc service. There's three levels of scalability when you talk about software as a service or software in general. One is the back-end scalability. So as that network grows, that you've got enough disk space, you've got enough of the plumbing and the server power to be able to support a scaled network. Secondly is the scalability of the interface and the workflow. And, you know, ComKey, we think fairly strongly of Engage and the workflow and the scalability for just a couple of people to manage a network of 3,000 to 4,000. The third area, which addresses the scalability you're talking about, is on the economics of it, the pricing of it. That has to scale too. So if you're rolling out 3,000, 4,000 systems, that pricing should scale to make the economics of it worth the network owner to stay with that software as a service. So the pricing makes a lot of sense, because on day one, you're plugging in one player or 100 players or 1,000 players. You're not paying all that upfront infrastructure. You're paying maybe a little higher price per player per month. But as those players increase, that price should go down significantly.
In our advertiser-supported business, which, as you know, it's a substantial network, but it's not half the business. But it takes a Cadillac of software, whether it's yours or BroadSigns or it has to be the Cadillac. It's got to do all the reporting.
Right.
It's got to have the what we call it remote transfer, but it has to have all of that where you can see what's on, what's not.
The publishing of the content.
But in our subscriber-based business, where the doctor, in our case, mostly veterinarians, they prefer it, but across the board, where the doctors pay a monthly fee, they own the equipment.
Right.
They service the equipment. We'll service it, but we'll bill them. But it's incumbent on them to log in and to pull the content down. We don't push it. Therefore, it's just a Windows-based, deal, which is very inexpensive. Where do you see? I know you're going to say, "Oh no, it's all going to be ad-based because that's where the money is." But Is it really? Where's the industry going?
No, it's really interesting. I think the industry is getting more of a balance between an ad-based model where the venue owner is saying, "Hey, listen, you just pay all the capital costs, you do everything, and we'll reap the benefits."
Which is what we've been pushing for 7 years now.
But what you've done, and you're seeing value in now, is you've always put as a premium on your networks education.
Right.
Always. And then you felt that if you deliver the education, you deliver the viewers, you deliver the venues, and therefore you're going to deliver the advertisers are going to follow, and you'll monetize your networks. And I think you're spot on. Where a lot is changing and beginning to evolve now is that the venue owners are saying, listen, the advertising, maybe I don't care as much about that. The real value to me is in the education and the ability to be able to engage my patients and create a level of loyalty. So we see that happen.
We've always done that. That's been our model since the 80s.
But you have in an ad-based network. But what's happening now is that we're doing, and we're seeing huge levels of growth within CompKey on retailers and venue owners saying we want a merchandising-based network and we want to own that network. We're the brand. And we want to be able to manage that network. So we see it in fashion retailing. We see huge growth that we're experiencing at CompKey right now in automotive service centers and automotive retailing and all of those areas.
So is that where, just switch pitch here, but talk about that for a minute. Is that really where you see your business going, is away from organizations that are ad-based or networks that are ad-based and require the Cadillac, and to more of the retail networks, or what did you call it?
Merchandising-based networks, yeah.
They don't require all that reporting that are advertised. They're more like our subscriber-based network. They just need delivery.
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Phil, but
I asked the question, of course.
And this is your show, so I have to tell you that if I ever want to be on it again, right? But it's really the hybrid. So you got to change the language a little. So in an ad-based network, you call it advertising compliance. In a retail network, you call it promotional compliance. And you have not advertisers, but brands that are coming in and promoting their brands, okay. Number one. Number two, the other balance that we're finding is it isn't just about digital signage. It isn't what's happening within the bezel of that digital sign. It's about being able to take that digital signage and being able to look multi-channel. And so what we've done, we just won the Digi Award for Best New Product in Digital Signage with Passport, which is our mobile messaging platform, which works within Engage. So what's happening now, and I just want to spend just a moment talking about really a fallacy that exists in the industry. A lot of folks will say to me, and they probably say to you, "Oh, geez, digital signage, that's that thing that we saw in Minority Report. Oh, that's great." Yeah. And I cringe when I hear that, because Minority Report was all about this invasive messaging, non-opt-in, and just pushing it down on unwelcome visitors, right? And what we're experiencing now it's sort of a back to the future. What's happening now is retailers and venue owners, they want to be like Sam the Grocer. What did Sam the Grocer do? Sam the Grocer stood there, he was outside of his shop, and when he saw Mrs. Smith coming down the street with little Sally in tow, he knew everything about Mrs. Smith. He knew what she bought last time she was there, what her likes and dislikes were, what little Sally likes, a little lollipop, strawberry lollipop, and he's already, "Hi, Mrs. Smith, how are you? Hi, Sally, here's your lollipop. How did you like the apple pie you got last week?" All that sort of stuff. And Mrs. Smith loves Sam the Grocer and is hugely loyal to Sam the Grocer and tells all of her friends about Sam the Grocer. What we're trying to do today with technology in a multi-channel environment is to try to be like Sam the Grocer. We'll never get there. But what we're talking about with the scalability of retail right now is to be able to let people come in, and what we're doing and expanding within CompKey, and I can't talk about all the brands because they don't let us, but global rollouts with fashion retailers. We're working with, I'll mention this, Play Network with Victoria's Secret.
We can't turn this into a commercial for ComKey.
But what I want to say is that growth is being supported through the ability for messaging to emulate what Sam the Grocer did.
No, I get that.
So I come in and I can check in at the beginning. I can tell them, Mrs. Smith is here, Mr. Smith is here.
So this is the merchandising network we're talking about.
And then I can deliver that messaging across digital signage, across mobile, around tablets. What's exciting right now is that if somebody has a child today and in 5 or 6 years from now, they go to a store and they've got their merchandise and the mother says, okay, Sally, let's go check out. And Sally says, check out? There's no checkouts because all those sales associates are going to be carrying tablets and doing self-checklist.
Like we do now at the Apple
Store, exactly. Yeah. And all of that connects to the digital signage system.
Is this direction that you're in because you, Stu, your background comes out of merchandising and marketing. Your world is from showing retailers how to merchandise product and sell product.
Right.
Is this move from ComKey because of you and your background, or is it ComKey's direction and you just happen to have that background that fits in with
No,
it?
I think it's a combination. I think it's become, I've been growing this organization for 8 years. Ajay, who's our chairman, has been driving this vision. So, and Max as our CTO has been driving this vision. So we've expanded, and we've done this over the last couple of years, of going beyond the boundaries of a digital signage company to being this multi-channel messaging company.
Again, we're getting into
but that's
promoting ComKey. But I'm more interested in the movement to this merchandising or these merchandising networks. And I'm frankly thinking about how does that affect me and my networks. I guess we are, in some regards, we're a merchandising network in our veterinary business because we're selling services for veterinarians.
Yes.
And they do pay a heft. Well, doesn't matter how much they pay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw you under the bus here because I got a question for you.
Okay.
I'm chairman of the Digital Signage Federation.
Yes.
I remember when we started, at the time you were president of the Digital Signage Association.
Yeah, Digital Screen Media Association.
Is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Why aren't you a member of Digital Signage Federation?
I should be.
Right. Can we get the application before he leaves here today? We'll get this filled. Get your credit card with you, Stu.
Hey, Phil, it's always a pleasure.
Thanks for making the run.
Thanks a lot.
All right. I'm glad we got to make this up for this trip.
Oh, thank you.
You'll see me next time.